Welcome one, welcome all to SSRL, presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. It's the Monday Night Truck Series live from virtual Charlotte Motor Speedway, and it's the last race of the season. I'm Jolo up here in the booth. I'm here with Sheldon Atkins, and down in the truck making it all come to you, that's Austin Derbyshire. And we have got one hell of a show for you tonight, folks. It's going to be a good one. Here comes the overhead view from Charlotte as we have got the best names in the business going around 85 lap sprint, an 85 lap tour of this course for you. Sheldon, how excited are you for this?
I'm highly excited. 85 laps here to close out the Truck Series seasons for the SSRL Truck Series at one of the best, one of the oldest mile-and-a-half speedways on the NASCAR circuit. A really difficult, grueling track for these drivers to work themselves around with not a whole lot of grip and a lot of bumps. Really going to come down to a driver's track, and your best driver is going to be the one walking away with the hardware tonight. You got 5 guys locked in right now here for the SSRL Truck Series Championship 2. Starting up at the top of the board, you got your hands-down favorite coming into the night, Heath Snyder. Hot off 3 wins this year. Sitting there tied, though, second in points. Kyle Westwood done a great job pointing his way in. No wins to his credit yet, but tonight could be the night that he walks away with it all. Shades of Matt Crafton there with the 92 truck with Kyle Westwood. Right behind him, the guy that dominated the first half of the season, Chad Genningsman. A little bit of a cold spell here in the previous month, sitting 19 points back. Definitely just as likely, though, to put the piece together and walk away with it this evening. Now looking a little bit further back into the must-win category, Gary Donlin sitting in 4th, 29 points back from your race leader. He's got to have a perfect race today. This being Charlotte, though, and what we've seen out Donlin really being good at sneaking up there at the end of the night, he could walk away with the trophy, and just through tire saving and attrition alone. And then back there, the odd man kind of looking out right now, but don't count him out. Blair Holloman, 1 win to his credit this season, has put together a lot of good runs. Tonight could be a night where he strikes and nobody sees it coming, because one thing I know about Charlotte, everybody's good at Charlotte.
Yeah, it's one of those things that brings out the best in some of these drivers. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about the keys to the race? You just gave us a great breakdown of the championship drivers. Let's hear about going around the track, though.
It's the keys to the race tonight. First off, if you're not in the playoffs, the one thing that you're going to do at this point is you're going to be mindful. You want to be mindful of who you're racing around. You don't want to be the guy to take away the opportunity for somebody to walk home with the championship tonight. Yeah, you just got to be on your P's and Q's. Make sure you're not making things more difficult for these guys in the hunt. But at the same time, don't sacrifice yourself and give up a chance to go out here and put your name on top of the book either. Number 2, it's Charlotte. It's a driver's track. Got a lot of bumps, a lot of different ways to cut it around here. You can see trucks working all the way up against the fence. You can be all the way down using the paint to kind of save the tires a little bit. Figure out what your truck likes, put it there, and let her eat for 85 laps. And then to round it all off, for our playoff guys, big picture. If you're sitting there and you're deadlocked in a battle for second place with somebody and you're about 15 laps into the race, you got to think a little smarter. You got to think, man, if I'm second place right now, what's that going to get me? Is it going to get me the championship? Is it worth possibly wrecking my truck and taking away any opportunity of walking home with the hardware tonight? Probably not. So you got to think big picture. You got to think 10 laps ahead all race long.
There you have it, folks. Think ahead a little bit. This is a tricky track. Let's go down who the Grid Vision team thinks is going to walk away with a win for tonight. Now, this is a championship pick, not for the race. I think Westwood is going to win it all tonight. I went with him early in the season. I think it's going to be him. How about you?
I think Westwood is a great pick, especially after what we saw last week with him dialing in that extra 5 to 10% that he's been missing all year. A few weeks ago, I think Westwood is a great option to possibly walk away with it this evening, especially with the way he's tied with Heath Snyder, who is my pick. Coming off all the momentum in the world, a lot of great runs here for the 29 machine, and I think tonight he will seal the deal and immortalize his name here in the SSRL Truck Series with a championship next to it.
And down on the truck, it's going to be Gary Donlin, number 12. Derbyshire's pick. So we'll see if any of those 3 particularly notice that we've all got different names that could come out tonight. It's going to be an exciting one any way you slice it, guys. Thank you for joining us, folks. Let's break down the grid, and starting with your pole position. Number 1 on the grid tonight, it's Kyle Westwood. Number 2, Joseph Tucker on the outside. Number 3, Evan Ethel. Number 4, Heath Snyder. Number 5, Chad Genningsman. Number 6, Colton Gardner. Number 7, Art Nicotera. Number 8, Blair Holloman. Number 9, Tony Jeffries. And number 10, Christopher Fuge.
11th place, we got Jordan Sailors with Gary Donnellan, one of your playoff hopefuls, starting in 12th. 13th place is going to be James Staples, followed by Scott Schroeder in 14th. 15th position is going to be Dave Fuge Jr. with Cody Hemingway, starting to the outside in 16th. Starting 17th, we're going to have JP Jones with Drew Prohl to the outside in 18th. 19th place, we got Jason Kratke with Noah Walters in 19th, my bad. And rounding out your field here this evening is going to be Shane Clore and Colby Jackson. Also,
yeah.
Colby Jackson told me to pick him, and I got to highlight it here real quick. We made that decision earlier in the season, and Darby swore that we're not allowed to pick him anymore because he did Colby Jackson things. So, sorry about your luck there, Colby. Try again next season.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll see how things go.
Colby, it's going to be an exciting one to watch here as he works himself through this 22 truck field here from shotgun on the field. Definitely going to want to keep your eyes craned on that 37 Tic Tac machine this evening.
That's a Tic Tac machine. It's in the back right now. Well, the only machine right now that did not set a qualifying lap, but that's okay. Still a lot to be done here. That can be done over time as he goes around and we go through 3 and 4. It's going to be the pace car going off any second here, getting ready to start. Folks, get on the edge of your seat. Get set. These guys are going to be taking off any second with Kyle Westwood and Joseph Tucker on the front line. And we are going to give you the most exciting, climactic final race that SSRL can put on. There goes the pace car. We're getting set, looking for that Geico zone, looking for the green flag. Any minute now, here we go. Green, green, green. That means we are go, go, go on Grid Vision.
Everybody getting in at turn 1 and 2 clean so far. Heath Snyder up on the outside, working in tow with last week's winner, Joseph Tucker in the 39 machine. Down the back straightaway, though, Kyle Westwood trying to hold up that bottom lane, trying to get back up to the point right now, but the outside line with all the momentum is going to take it away coming into turn 3. Joseph Tucker going to dive down from the top rope to the inside lane. He's going to be your race leader here as we come across the line to complete lap 1.
Oh, yellow flag's
And
on already. We got
caution.
somebody sideways backwards, actually.
I think
We've
that's
got
Schroeder.
We got a truck spun around backwards. Yeah, I think so. The 74 of Scott Schroeder, correct, sir. Just keeps it out of the barrels. But I think that might have been a one-man show here. We'll go in the way back machine just a few seconds here and take a look. Scott Schroeder, ooh, gets just a little bit of a tap. That tiny amount, folks. That's all it took to put the Boomer button box truck backwards.
That's definitely a big hole to be digging yourself out of here. As you see, just up at the top here, a little bit 3 wide, a little bit of contact from the 47 truck or the 45 truck, and that was all it took to send that 74 machine backwards up against the fence. Just the slightest bit of touch.
Yeah. That felt like an iRacing kind of thing, one of those unique things where if you had that kind of contact in real life, maybe that wouldn't have been such a big deal. That was Tony Jeffries there in the 45, but just that little bit of contact, it feels like it just amplifies and reverberates through these digital cars sometimes, and that little bit can quickly sort of chaos theory up into a much bigger problem.
One of your championship hopefuls right now on pit road, getting a little bit of extra gas put in the back of the Reaper Speed Lab, number 97 truck. That's Chad Gunningsman. Just coming down, a little splash and go, trying to make sure he has enough fuel to make it here to the end of the stage to try and score those much-needed playoff points once we hit the stage yellow.
Yes, sir. It looks like Donnellan was down there too, actually. Another man who was in the playoff range. Excuse me, championship range.
Tell you this right here could be a track that that works in the favor of the Inception Energy Solutions machine of Donnellan too. You know, he's one of those guys that's really good about saving his stuff and finding his way into the picture at the end of it. And you know, I can't think of many more necessary properties to walk away with a win at Charlotte outside of tire management.
Up in the front, 39 of Joseph Tucker, wrapped in our sponsor's livery. Remember, folks, if you're looking for a place in Middle Tennessee, Chasity Tucker Realtor.
If you look close to the front bumper, too, on the 39 truck, he's got a little message for us.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, he does. A
I
little bit
will
of
look more
an
closely.
addition to the paint scheme on the front bumper, not the back, the front. Maybe we look from the back of the pace car if that's an option.
See if we have maybe the old rear chase camera.
Hang on. Back. Yeah, back her down a little bit there, Joseph. There we go. Oh, not enough. Oh, there it is. Rest in peace, my playoff run.
Oh, that's it. Yep.
There we go. Now he's getting into the camera for us.
Perfect.
And I'll tell you what, it is such a shame that he just missed it by a handful of points, because with the run that he put together last week, or week before last, apologies, at Homestead, I believe it was, the domination that machine had, and getting that win when he did, that would have pretty much solidified him as the hands-on favorite coming into Charlotte this week. And you see he's got a whole lot of pace down here already, starting up here at the front of the pack, getting himself into the first position before he even got into the first lap. So Tucker would have definitely been a hands-on favorite, but right now all eyes are focusing on that 29 and the 92 truck.
The lights are off on the pace car, and we'll see what they can do up there. We'll see if maybe his luck will hold out at least for one race here. There goes the pace car. We're waiting for the restart zone now. And once they hit it, it'll be the heavy pedal for these guys. There it is. We are green yet again.
Joseph Tucker gets to the loud pedal the quickest, gets a nice 2-truck length advantage over him and Kyle Westwood side by side into turn 1. Your 2 championship favorites. Westwood going to take the spot away from Heath Snyder. Heath Snyder going to dive back down to the bottom of the track. Doesn't look like he's trying for a switchback just yet. Going to stay in tow and push that 92 machine down the back straightaway.
Yeah, these guys going to keep it clean as best they possibly can for this race. This is the last race of the season. No one wants it to be a caution fest either. So I think that, the accidental contact we saw earlier, I was surprised we saw it so early, but I have a feeling these guys are going to try their best to keep it out of each other's way until we get close to that point where it's do or die.
As we look now, Jordan Saylor's going to take over the 3rd spot away from Blair Holloman. Blair Holloman, another one in that points battle for the championship here. Holloman going to be smart, let that one truck go. As you look a little bit further back, here comes Hemingway diving down underneath Colton Gardner, going to take away the spot with ease coming into turn 3.
Garner, the 21 car, the 21 truck on the outside.
And going back to the future.
Yeah.
Now the 68 truck of Christopher Fuge down to the inside of Gardner here. Going to try to take away the spot. They're still going to be dead even down the back straightaway. Gardner with the advantage. Here comes Sailors to the inside of Heath Snyder, though.
Hard charge out of Sailors there, moving very, very swiftly, going to get that spot. He makes the move. He makes that move for P3. Sitting up there now is the number 1 truck behind the 92 of Kyle Westwood. Trying to make the move now on Westwood, but not exactly sure if he's going to have the inside or the outside on this one. Probably the inside. Here we go. Move to the inside. He's side by side for second now. Jordan Sailors.
Sailor showing the pace that he wished he could have shown earlier in the season, carving his way through the field here really quick, making short work of the field, taking the 2nd spot away now from Kyle Westwood, putting him right behind Joseph Tucker. And Sailors, the past 2-3 weeks, he's had a whole lot of pace in that Red Bull Toyota. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with it here as he now draws a bead on your race leader.
And so he does. We have a bunch of different championship drivers up here at the front still. Holloman, Snyder. Snyder in 4th right now.
Oh, for the lead. Here we go. Sailors to the bottom. Side by side through 3 and 4. Here comes Sailors to the inside, neck and neck here at the start-finish line. Looks like Tucker's going to lead lap 10, though, at the stripe. But Sailors still on the preferred lane, going to dive it down into 1 and 2. Tucker not giving him much room, though. Going to keep on fighting on the outside line, trying to use that momentum to propel him down the back straightaway, and he finds it through 1 and 2. Down the back stretch, Tucker's going to be your leader, but coming into 3, Sailors looks like he's going to tuck back in the line.
Yeah, just for a second, though, I got a feeling that Sailors is only here to find another line. as we look back at the man who made the contact a little bit earlier, Tony Jeffries, the 45. Ooh, almost contact again with the 32. Very close there. Up at the front, we're still side by side.
And if you look right there, third, fourth, and fifth, all three drivers locked in for this playoff battle. Three of the best in the field right now, all going toe-to-toe here on the bottom lane, from Kyle Westwood to Blair Holloman. And a bit of separation between them and the other two that are in on this fight, too. Genningsman and Dunneland still a little bit mired back in traffic from where they came down pit road and topped off on fuel. Maybe they're back there saving.
That's a good question. We are going to lap 35 to end stage 1, folks. So that'll be the point where we start to see these guys come in for some full sets and some gas. But up until that point, we'll see who can make it. We've already had one flag, so there was a chance there for some folks to get fresh stuff. But we'll see. And then no one actually took tires during that. Obviously, it was just gas.
And Sailors still to the back bumper of the 39 machine of Joseph Tucker as we work our way down the back straightaway here. 13 laps on the board. Sailors trying to get everything he can out of that Red Bull Chevrolet. Try and get past the 39 Ford. But Tucker going to draw it out just a little bit here. Trying about a truck length and a half advantage over him in second place as we're working at 1 and 2.
These two are out on their own right now. It's just far enough ahead of Westwood and Snyder and the gang that they don't have too much to worry about in terms of competition. But if they start to race each other too hard, that gap is going to get smaller and smaller every lap.
Oh, 3 wide, a little bit further in the back of the pack. Hemingway going to go up to the top of the track here in the 10 truck and make short work of the 45 machine of Tony Jeffries.
Attaboy Cody Hemingway up 10 right now from where he started. The hardest charger in the race so far at lap 15.
And here comes Colton Gardner fighting on the inside line, trying to get past the 45 of Jeffries as well. He's going to take the spot from Jeffries down the back straightaway. Now here comes James Staples to the bottom. Jeffries struggling a little bit with the handling on that 45 machine here early in the race as Staples is working the inside line in the EPI machine. And it looks like he's going to get him here. Yes, he does. James Staples is going to take the spot. James Staples now up to 8th.
Very, very good maneuvering there from that whole pack of 4, keeping it together, keeping out of each other, and just figuring out who needed to be where. And it looks like the winner out of that was definitely James Staples.
And Joseph Tucker now starting to creep his way away from the 1 truck of Jordan Sailors, now up to 2.5 tenths. Separating these two, starting to work its way up to 3 tenths here. So it looks like Tucker's doing a really good job keeping that equipment under him. He was bad fast a few weeks ago, and looks like the same is going to remain here as we are closing on the end of this first stage.
Checking in with some of the championship drivers a little bit. Heath Snyder, here's Colton Garner now, James Staples now. Trying to see where the fight's at a little bit as people are getting a little bit strung out here. We go back a little ways through the numbers. We can see Chad Genningsman actually fell down a little bit during this race so far. He's down 10 places from where he started. Again, a good start at the beginning of this season, but weirdly not as present during the latter half of the SSRL Truck Series so far.
Altogether, though, Genningsman's put together an incredible season through just consistent finishes. But what I've noticed out of Genningsman here is the last couple laps, listening to him going into turn 3, he's been shutting the truck off, coasting and riding the clutch, trying to save as much fuel as possible. I'm not sure about 1 and 2. Yes, there it is. You see the needle dip all the way down to the bottom of the tachometer. Genningsman doing everything he can to keep a little bit more life and longevity in this fuel cell so he can make it to the end of the stage and score those 10 bonus points that he desperately needs here to move himself into contention to fight for this championship.
That's a clever play right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I got a feeling if we go and look back at Donald, it's going to be much the same, but now the battle for second is starting to wage as Kyle Westwood trying to get all the points that he can possibly walk away with here to build that cushion between him And Heath Snyder is going toe-to-toe with Jordan Sailors. Looks like Sailors has kind of fell off, used a little bit too much of those Goodyear Eagles at the start of his run. And now he's locked side by side, but these guys got to be careful because Blair Holloman's back here sniffing, and he's ready to pounce.
Yeah, Holloman's got to get through these two, though. And right now, they are definitely fighting hard enough. That's not going to be something that he could do on his own. Now, he could ride the coattails of Westwood, as well. I think would be the best move here for Holloman. Get down there, help Westwood, push him a little bit, ride his coattails past Sailors, and then figure out how to deal with him.
Yeah, this is not the position Westwood wants to be in now. He tried to make the pass on Sailors, wasn't able to complete it. Now he's side by side with Holloman, who was a couple truck lengths ahead coming into that situation. And Holloman working that outside line, going to use that momentum, trying to pull himself past the 92 truck of Westwood, and it looks like he's going to have the toe coming out of turn 2 and pull away just a little bit. Yes, he's going to clear him. Westwood settling to fall in line now, losing a spot to another playoff hopeful here in Blair Holloman.
Holloman with his name right there on the front of the truck. Ooh, big slide there. Heck of a wiggle there out of Blair Holloman. Good save, good save. We're going to see more of that as the night goes on.
I feel like we haven't seen this much speed out of the 32 truck since the beginning half of the season. Holloman really picking it up here when it matters the most at the tail end of the playoffs.
Yeah, I get the general sense of that too.
See him right now mired behind. Big wobble out of the 32 truck coming out of turn 4. Does a great job keeping it under him, but that's going to open the door. Here comes Westwood to the inside quarter panel, all over the back bumper into 1. Holloman catches the fence a little bit coming into 1. Westwood now going to dive it deep into the first corner. Is he going to be able to get it done, though? Doesn't look like it. He needs all the real estate he can get, and Holloman just right up there in the outside line. It's going to be difficult enough that Westwood's going to have to fall back in line behind the 32 truck.
Let's see if he does.
Westwood with a great run here and up to the quarter panel. A huge shot down on the front straightaway. Here comes Westwood looking low. Backs out of the corner to not get into the 32 truck, though. Going to hurt him coming into 1, but now they're going to be side by side on the bottom lane here into 1.
Looking mighty fine as Colton Garner actually is down pit road.
It's going to be your first taker here, lap 25. So these guys are going to start bringing themselves down pit road here. But this is what's going to make the deal here for the 97 truck of Chad Genningsman, sitting in 11th place, still riding the clutch and shutting the motor off in the corners. We ride on board.
Oh, yeah, well.
As we ride on board with Chad here at the start-finish line, sitting there way back behind the rest of this field. And there you see it. See the needle dip. That little bit of time, though, that's just, a couple feet. But those couple feet add up lap after lap on both ends of the track. And that right there is how you manage to get yourself to the stage when you're further in the back of the pack and have an opportunity to win the stage.
Yeah, that was there's just some incredible driving coming out of that car, that truck right now. It's tough to watch Genningsman be back so far, but when he does just hit the gas, man, it's a bat out of hell.
Right now, the only thing that's on the table for these guys here in the first stage is those stage points at the end of the run. At lap 35, that is what matters.
Yes, sir.
The position that you're running on lap 27, it doesn't mean a thing. As we see right now, Blair Holloman, one of the first of the playoff potential drivers here, down pit road, coming in for 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. Oh, might just be Sunoco fuel. You never know with these guys. A lot of the time they go out without any tires.
That's true.
Keep our eyes craned on it here and see what he's going with. And this looks like it's going to be a gas and go.
Gas and go it is. Yep, there we go. Kept all 4 on the ground.
Yep, saving that extra set of tires for later in the race when he's going to need them most.
Well, he's got the gas, and now he's got the go. Mr. Garner getting back out on the track very shortly here.
As we focus ourselves up here to the front of the pack, Jordan Sailors closing that advantage now to Joseph Tucker. Tucker was able to pull it out to 0.3 of a second, almost 0.4 of a second. But Sailors creeping back into the picture now, up to 0.2. And Westwood is not losing sight of either of these two right now, as you see him go to charge, trying to get do the back bumper. The one machine of Sailors into one.
Here we are on lap 36 to go, folks. 6 to go here in stage 1.
Side by side down the back straightaway. Westwood trying to get the advantage over the one machine, trying to walk away with every point he possibly can here. Into 3 and 4. Westwood with a good run this time. The best I've seen of him so far, but is he able to make it connect on the straightaway? No. Sailors gets a little bit of a bobble, and that is going to give the advantage to Westwood. Westwood now moving up to second place as Hemingway comes down pit road.
Westwood, gotta love seeing that. Oh, quick shout out to YouTube comments. Thank you very much, Calvin. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you enjoy the broadcast.
As well, in our comment section, Tucker is absolutely making a statement for next season here in the SSRL Truck Series, picking up so much space in the last handful of weeks. A week or two short from where he needed to find it most, but definitely putting together incredible performances here. As now we look at the entirety of the field come down pit road, but one notable absentee from pit road right now is going to be that 97 truck of Chad Gunningsman, already moving up to the second spot as Heath Snyder is still on the track right now. And I think Heath is also saving. Heath trying to get every bit out of this truck as he possibly can. But the benefit, I think, is going to go for Chad, because Heath is going to have to save so much more because he did not pit on that first round of pit stops and everybody else came down pit road under that first caution. And Chad did, so Chad got the top off and went straight calculation into saving from the start of the run. Heath kind of tried to stay in it and fight up there at the top until he realized it was a losing battle. And look at the separation between the two. Chad is already looming ever so closely to that 29 truck.
That 3-4 is quickly becoming 3-2 and then down to 3-1.
And you can also tell that Heath's not cracking full throttle on the straightaway either, trying everything he can to keep the dream alive in the grid vision machine.
The grid vision dream of victory is alive and well right now on the hood of Heath Snyder. Currently leading the race on lap 34, folks. Just 2 to go to the end of stage 1. We've got that happening here. We've got a question here. Hey, you guys want to know? They want to know if we have any suggestions for a great real estate agent. Well, let me give it some thought. I'll get back to you. No, I'm just kidding. Chasity Tucker Realtor. That's who you should go to if you're in Central Tennessee and you would like to get a house bought or sold.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good reviews about that Chasity Tucker Realtor down in Middle Tennessee. I think that's definitely a good one to go for. That's all I hear about around here, so she must do wonderful work.
I'm sure she does.
Oh, and we got a caution. Oh, wait, no, that's a stage caution. Never mind.
That's the stage, yeah.
We got lost in the sauce here, but the stage yellow is out. Chad Gunningsman is going to be able to limp that truck across the start-finish line, and it looks like he's run out of gas. It looked like Drew Prohl was giving him a little shot down the back straightaway.
Right now he's might just be on fumes. Heath Snyder, though, that's another story.
Yeah, Heath is completely out of gas. You see him down in the power band right now, and he's going to need a hand getting on pit road.
Absolutely, as the vultures circle, someone is going to have to do the good Samaritan thing and give him a little bit of a push for him to make it around 3 and 4 all the way. I think we'll see.
Come on, Fuchs, give him a shot, buddy.
Well, it was an interesting gamble, but it only got him so far.
And this right here is going to be a really difficult situation for Snyder because he's entering a closed pit. Pit road does not open until the cars catch. I don't even think he's going to be able to limp it into his box.
Oh, man, he might have buttoned off more than he could chew.
The championship hopes look like they may be dead before they even started. Heath Snyder not just limping down pit road, grinding it on the starter right now to get some kind of momentum into the back tires, but he's liable to lose a lap here.
He's not going to make it all the way down to the front anytime soon. Oh, and there goes his only chance of getting a push.
Think. Hang on, we can.
Uh-oh.
No,
He's going to tow it.
no. He has to tow it down pit road, which that is going to be a long time for him to get into that box, get fuel into that machine.
Yes, indeed. Oh, man. And Heath Snyder, your current championship, tied for championship points leader, sitting right now in his pit stop as we have eyes on Chad Genningsman coming off pit road. Chad, your stage 1 winner.
Yeah, your stage 1 winner, getting 10 crucial bonus points for that stage 1 win. Because if himself or one of these other playoff drivers isn't able to win this race, which it's looking like that might not be an option with the speed that we are seeing out of Joseph Tucker and Jordan Sailors, those points are going to be what's separated, what's going to be the determining factor on who wins this race. So Chad came into this. Let me do a little quick math here. Do a little quick map here, because I think Chad was only 19 points back. Chad was 19 points back, so now 9 points separating Chad from Kyle Westwood, not counting the points that Westwood made in that stage as well. It's getting close. Right now, Westwood, your odds-on favorite when it comes to the point situation as it sits. But I don't think
like hearing that.
But I do not think we've seen everything that 97 truck has to offer this evening either, because he spent that first stage just saving. I think
you're onto something. As the lights are off on the pace car, we had a very interesting stage break. So we stuck around during it. But that was, watching the points leader run out of gas and then getting towed, watching the rest of the crew get lined up, and now we're going to get things started here as the racers get ready to go around again. Jordan Sailors out in front with Chad Genningsman on the outside this time.
As Rick Allen would have said, major playoff implications.
Looking good, everybody. We've got the 2x2x2 going right now in that second row there. It's Drew Prohl, a name we haven't talked about yet, with Jason Kratke also there. And as we look at it right now, it does look like Heath Snyder still unable to return to the racetrack, still taking the tow, scored in 21st position right now. That is a tough break. There goes the pace car. Let's get ready for it. Here it comes again. Another restart, this time for stage 2. And we're green yet again for stage 2 of the SSRL Truck Series Monday night race, the final race of the season.
Jordan Sailors leading him down at turn 1 with a decent little advantage over second place Chad Genningsman. So you look a little bit further back. Drew Prohl now going to slide over into third position, take that away from Jason Kratke as we work into turn 3.
This line of 4 cars here looking good. Still, we got a little bit of two-eye situation going on here. Cody Hemingway in the 10 on the outside right now. And then on the inside, that's the 12 of Donnellan, who is usually moving up about this point in the race is where we see Gary Donnellan make this kind of move. And he is starting to work his way up now, 7 places from where he started. Still behind Kratke and Prohl, who are both up 15 places from where they started tonight's race.
I'll tell you what, if I think of somebody that can come out here and upset the playoff grid here and walk away with the championship, I think very highly of the 12 machine of Gary Donnellan. We've seen what he's able to do on long runs with burned off tires. He's always patient, always calculated, always seems to get the most out of his equipment and never steps over the line too far. 12 machines. Definitely a solid pick.
All right, folks, as things get kicked off here at stage 2, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll get right back to more action from the SSRL Truck Series. Hey, we're back on the SSRL Truck Series Monday Night Race presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor, and it's Jordan Sailors out in front, Chad Genningsman in second with Drew Prohl right now in third. I'm Jolo up here in the booth with Sheldon Atkins and Austin Derbyshire, bringing you the final race of the SSRL season live right now as we see
lead.
Chad Genningsman makes a move for the lead.
Chad Genningsman down to the bottom of the track here to 3, taking the lead, slicking the stamp and sending it. Going to put a little bit of a slide job on the one machine of Jordan Sailors and take it and run with it. As we look a little bit further back, Drew Prohl bouncing it off the fence, barely keeping that truck in line. But now Sailors trying to put the bumper to the front bumper to the back of the 97 machine of Genningsman through 1 and 2 and loses the nose a little bit. Genningsman going to walk away with the lead here down the back stretch.
What a move out of Genningsman. We were just talking about how he had the sauce earlier in the season, and now he's back with a very powerful move out to the front. Quick word from the chat. John Fuge says, play nice, Fuge boys, as we see a move now in the middle there. Cody Hemingway moves down to the inside of Drew Prohl. Hemingway looking for third place.
Hemingway down to the inside through 1 and 2. Slides up the track a little bit, gets a little bit of a bobble coming out turn 2, loses a whole bunch of momentum. Just barely able to tuck himself back into line here to try and make another stab at it here as we come into turn 3.
And hot to trot, there's Dave Fuge Jr. himself and Christopher Fuge now. That's where they are sitting in the race. Christopher's back in 15th. Dave's up in 12th. The Fuge boys both playing very nicely here. Chad Genningsman, though, no need to play nice anymore. He's out in front by a long shot.
Also covering more of our playoff hopefuls here, looking a little bit further in the pack. Right in front of Joseph Tucker sits Kyle Westwood in the 92 truck in 6th position. Managed to get himself a little bit of managed to dive himself up through the field. We see a little bit of contact there with Hemingway to the outside fence and Sailors involved. That was almost a dicey moment as Drew Prohl takes over the 2nd spot.
Hemingway is just suicidal right now. He's all over the place. It's been wild to watch him. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd heavy hit he's had off the wall. Sparks have flown. Let's see if Hemingway can keep that truck on the track without throwing any more sparks.
So look right now, Hemingway tucked in the line behind Drew Prohl. Prohl doing a good job bringing a little bit of late season pace as well. And that 80 machine, see him up there working up against the fence right now, trying a little bit of a different line, trying to keep the momentum, keep the engine wound up, trying to keep that Ilmore engine in the as close to the red line as possible, which is honestly a daunting task to say through those engines to these trucks a handful of years ago. But all this stuff happening right now in front of one of your championship favorites of Kyle Westwood. If he can manage to get himself up there and get past that 97 machine, Kyle Westwood could walk away your winner, but he's gonna have to beat that 97 truck as well as the 12 truck who's just lurking in the shadows. As we see Holloman make a pass now on Gary Donlan down the back straightaway using the outside line. And Holloman moving himself up into the 7th position, just a few truck lengths back from Kyle Westwood.
These guys have got things locked down as we go around lap 53. We're looking for 85 to end tonight's race, folks. So we got about another 30 laps to go before things are done.
You know, last run, Chad was saving everything that he possibly had. It is a stark contrast to what he's doing right now, absolutely sending it each corner, treating each lap like a qualifying lap to try and pull away from the field as we see Hemingway hit the fence again, all the way down into the AstroTurf and back up onto the track.
Looks like the drivers are getting things settled here. Hemingway leading this little pack, trying to stay off the wall as best he can. He's going to ride it just a little bit, though, as the 54 of Kratky follows in behind. Without making too much fuss right now, Kratky just looks like he's finding positions where he can get them. I'm not sure. He looks like he's trying to maybe make a position here against Hemingway, if he can. But he's not pushing as hard as maybe I would expect him to, if he really was trying to go for position after position.
Also, one truck that has given up, refusing to give in and throw up the towel, The 29 truck, Heath Snyder, is still out here on the track, 2 laps down from your race leader. But if things start to get hairy at Charlotte, which they have a tendency of doing in seasons past, that 29 truck could be lucky enough to get himself back on the lead lap and potentially contend for this. But now we look back up here to the top of the field. Joseph Tucker now taking a dive down to the inside of the 54 machine of Kratky. Kratky going to lose a spot and fall under fire to the 92 of Westwood. We're going to throw a huge block on Westwood down the back straightaway.
That block, oof. Kept the momentum completely out of Westwood's sails, and now he's going to have to fight even harder because behind him, there's some more championship competition.
And I'll tell you what, if you're
Gary Donald.
Got one truck on pit road a little bit further in the pack, it's the 10 machine of Hemingway. And I'll tell you what, man, if you're looking for a favorite for next season, you might as well just bet the house on that 39 machine of Tucker.
Yeah.
Because he has shown so much pace in the closing weeks. And you know what? If you somehow happen to lose the house by betting the house, I think that Tucker boy right there might be able to point you in the right direction of somebody that can help you locate a new one.
I think you're right, my friend. We watch a few other people head on down the pit road here. Christopher Fuge is going down there. Art Nicotera, Jordan Sailors, also down pit road. Noah Walters. And most of the names are staying out right now, including Genningsman, Prohl, and in third, Tucker.
A little bit of a slide out of the 32 machine of Holloman. No harm, no foul, though. Keeps the thing pointed in the right direction. It's still trying to make some kind of a close on the 54 machine of Kratky, as you see Westwood now following in the line behind Joseph Tucker. And Tucker and, well, the rest of these guys really drawing the bead on Drew Prohl right now. As you see Prohl kind of struggling right now with a little bit of a worn tire situation in the 80 truck.
Yeah, Prohl has not had... He's had a strong run overall, but the struggle is real here. And we're starting to watch the fall off potentially happen and start to happen in real time, as he's not able to close this gap that's formed between himself and Genningsman. If anything, Genningsman's going to close the gap on his own tired tires.
I'll tell you, running up against the fence here at Charlotte, you know you can make a lot of pace up there, but you can really hurt those Goodyear Eagles staying up there for too long. And I think that's what you're seeing. It looks like the right rear tire just starting to give up the ghost a little bit. You see him wiggling coming out of turn 4. I got a good feeling that 80 machine's just about on the edge of the cheese.
The edge of the cheese, you say?
Absolutely, the edge of the cheese. You never want to get down, you know, you never want to get to the rind of it. As you
That's
see
fair. Took me a second.
As you see the 39 of Tucker starting to make moves down there on that inside line. If you could just get those left sides hooked down on that blue paint a little bit better, I guarantee you a lot more pace in that machine down there. 'Cause that's one of the weird things about this track that doesn't get talked about enough is the that blue paint there on the inside.
Yep.
It's about, say, if you can get those left sides hooked on, it's about 5 counts more grip. At least it's what it feels like behind the wheel. It just glues you in there.
Really? I didn't know there was so much grip to be found down there.
No, there's a lot of grip. You can kind of get the tires wedged on that transition, and then the paint, you know, paint has more grip than asphalt. Fun things that you didn't really know.
Yeah. Call me surprised.
You know, it doesn't have more grip than paint though. Cheese.
Okay. Yeah, I walked right into it. I should have seen it coming from 10 miles away. I walked right into it. I appreciate it, though.
Oh, and big move for Westwood there. Stays in line, pushing the 80 machine of Prohl. That's going to give him the advantage over the 39. He's going to take the spot away from Tucker. Now he's diving down, trying to take the second spot as we look at Donlin on pit road, the first of your championship hopefuls to pit here into this cycle. But here comes Westwood with a huge charge to the inside and try and take away second spot, and they are closing in on your race leader quick. And he's going to get it. He's going to clear him out of 2.
Less than a second now. Almost down to half a second between Genningsman and Westwood right now.
Yeah, this is at the tail end of the cycle, too. Westwood's going to have to be pitting here soon. So is the 97 truck Genningsman. This entire pack we're looking at right now going to have to dive down pit road. But look at the charge from Kyle Westwood here late into the stages. Just about to the back bumper. Genningsman, you see a huge slide out of the 97 truck, just about locks it sideways coming through 1 and 2. Kyle Westwood is on a charge right now to get to the back bumper of that machine.
Now, do you think this is a situation where, like Westwood or Genningsman, I guess in this case, could really start has been saving tires, and that's what's making them catch ups? Other people are catching up because they're saving.
I just think Genningsman charged a little too hard at the start of this run, and it's starting to backfire on him. You see how loose that truck is right now. He's fighting tooth and nail to keep it going straight, let alone to hold pace over these other trucks behind him. As you see now, Westwood, this is the battle for your lead and potentially for your championship. Into 3 and 4. Genningsman down on the stripe, probably going to come into pit road this time. Yes, he does. But Kyle Westwood, your leader, and Drew Prohl goes around and into the barrels.
Into the barrels. We're still green.
We are still under green. That was underneath the racing surface, so Drew Prohl going to take a tow there in a heartbreaking finish to the season for him.
Yeah,
but a great move to keep.
That's probably the last thing he's going to do tonight.
But a great move to keep us under green here and to keep us from throwing the entire strategy out the window. Now, Kyle Westwood, your race leader and your points leader all at the same time. Going to dive down pit road here for 4 tires and fuel. He's going to take Tucker with him. And oh, no, Tucker gets him.
Oh, no.
The race, huge implications here. The 92 machine of Westwood is around on pit road with damage. Tucker wheel hopped coming into pit road and just clipped the right rear quarter pound of the 92.
That is going to stir things up quite a good deal. Westwood needed to hold on to every point he had tonight to be able to say that he could, dominate over the tie situation they had in the 1 and 2 spot. But now, oh man, with that damage, he's going to set him back. Where's Heath Snyder right now in all of this? He's back in 19th. Man, this is, a lot could change here tonight at this point.
Heath 1 lap down, hoping for a quick caution to come out here as we look at the replay. See the 92 machine of Westwood get in. You see Tucker, just late coming into pit road, hits the barrels ever so slightly, enough to ricochet him into the 92 machine and basically evaporate the championship hopes out from underneath Kyle Westwood.
That was a very rip-roaring pit entrance there from Joseph Tucker.
You know what? 5 years ago, and Westwood coming in pit road again, just about loses it, gonna miss it. Westwood is around on the front straightaway.
We're still green.
Will that bring a caution? No, it does not.
Westwood's gonna limp it around though. I think he's gonna have to try to get it back down the pit road on this next one.
Looks like there might be something broken on the 92 truck. You see him kind of wiggling it here on the front straightaway.
Yeah,
it looked like he was coming down pit road to maybe serve a penalty. And he got on the transition the wrong way and around it went. Good job locking it down because that could have been a huge mess.
That's true. I was thinking that was going to be a yellow for sure just based on where he was on the track. And the fact that he was going 0 miles an hour in the middle of the track for so long, I thought maybe, but no, it was good. Good luck on his side here. Bad luck, I'm not sure how you want to slice it.
It's going to be bad luck because he definitely wanted caution.
Yeah, he would want the caution.
And he's on the radio right now talking about how difficult it is to keep that truck underneath him because he does have the right rear sawed off from the contact. No side force to the 92 truck, so that is basically going to be a day ender for him as he tries to limp it around here. Yeah, there it is.
Yes,
you see the damage. Such a rough night, man. He had so much pace. And finding it all at the right time, but it's just not going to be enough. You can't predict incidents that you don't know are going to happen. Right now, it's Chad Genningsman versus Blair Holloman now for the championship. Holloman right now with the advantage.
Yep, with Dave Fuge and Colton Garner in the mix for good measure.
I don't know the way the points are going to stack. I don't know who's in a must-win right now and who isn't.
We said Donnellan was in a must-win when this started.
Well, your point, the two drivers that led the points coming into this race with a two-way tie are both basically written out of the win, bare minimal. You got Westwood, he's back in 14th. You got Heath Snyder, he's 4 laps down to 19th. I think Snyder may have brought down pit road and called it a day.
Yeah, probably. I wouldn't blame him at this point, based on what we've seen.
Those two are scoring, significantly less points, but they're still scoring points. And when it comes down to a points situation, it's hard to keep up with. Now, you got Donlin still on track here. You got Holloman leading it right now. You're at least the first of your championship hopefuls. Giddings been sitting right behind. No, Snyder only 2 laps down. My eyes must have jumped. For some reason, it showed me 3 on our ticker on the left side.
It's all good. Scott Schroeder as well on the lower end of things here.
And here we go. We got a battle right now for 3rd place. Holloman all the way up against the fence right now. Here comes Gettingsman diving down to the inside. Gettingsman's going to take the position here. And this could be for the championship. I'm not sure how it's going to stack out. Gettingsman going to run away with it, though, down up against the blue paint on the inside line here. Gettingsman moving forward in the closing stages of the race now. Up to 2nd place, trying to reel in Hemingway.
We got 9 laps left, folks. 10 if you do NASCAR math.
As you see Hemingway getting passed by the lap machine of Heath Snyder. Heath Snyder unlapping himself from the 10 truck here. Going back to 2 laps down from the 3 laps he was sitting after pit stops. 1 truck hard up against the fence through 1 and 2. It looks like... I can't quite get the door number on it. Still bouncing off the fence.
Oof.
Right in front of Holloman's. And Noah Walters just glued to the wall here in the 50 machine here for the last half a lap. And there's your race leader, Cody Hemingway, trying to nurse a 2-second gap to Chad Gunningsman here in the closing laps. 8 laps to go, coming to take 7 this time.
Tires that are 10 laps older than everyone. 21 lap gap on those tires right now. Very impressive.
21 lap old tires going to make it really difficult to hold off the hard charging 97 machine of Chad, but we've seen craziness every step of the way here tonight. There's no telling what's going to happen next as we cross the line to start lap 79.
We've seen leaders spin. We've seen leaders get spun. We've seen action on pit road. We've seen action on the course. But pit road has definitely been a little bit of where it's been at tonight, folks. People have been getting eaten up on that pit road entrance.
So Gettingsman going to clip the apron a little bit there, make the truck a little unsteady coming out of turn 4, but it's not enough to hurt the momentum too much as he's closing in on the 10 machine of Hemingway now. And if Gettingsman gets the lead here and can just hold on to it for 5 more laps, that is the championship in the bag for the 97 truck. The guy that dominated the points the first 3 quarters of the season. Kind of fell off midway through as he shows a little bit of a bumper to the 10 machine of Hemingway. Hemingway up into the fence. Gettingsman's going to take the lead. And if he could just hang on for a couple more laps, he's going to secure the spot here for the championship.
What a move there. Gettingsman, nice and clean. A fast move to the inside, then back up top. It's his.
Working his way past the lap machine of Jordan Sailors. Sailors catches the fence in front of him a little bit. Surely a heart-stopping moment for the driver of the 97 truck as he dives it back down to 3 and 4 here to come out of turn 4 this time to take 4 laps to go at Charlotte.
4 laps to go at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the last race of the SSRL Monday Night Truck Series.
Now these right here, these are the points that you're looking at on the right side of the screen. These were the points coming into the race before Heath Snyder had his incident, putting him 2 laps down. Kyle Westwood at the back of the pack right now with heavy damage. Chad Gunningsman was able to score 10 points in the first stage, winning the first stage. And now he's sitting here with the opportunity to walk home with all of it. As we come out of turn 4 to take 3 laps to go. Chad Gunningsman, your leader on the race and on the points board as it sits. We look at third place. As we look at third place, Blair Holloman, he's brought a lot here tonight, but just not enough. He's going to need a miracle if he's going to catch the 97 Reaper Speed Lab machine in the closing laps.
Yeah, that's a tall order right now. Not one I think he's going to be able to fill. As we've gotten everybody smoothed out a little bit here towards the end of this race, they've sort of found where they're going to be, where they want to finish this race. The hardest chargers have charged up. We've got Cody Hemingway up 14, Dave Fuge up 11, Shane Clore up 14 as well, Jason Kratke up 11. Those are the guys who cracked double digits on their charging tonight. So congratulations to them for charging super hard. Let's
Here we
are.
Here we are, working our way into 3, coming out of 4 for the next to last time. The white flag is in the air as he comes out of turn 4 here to seal the deal on the championship for the 2025 SSRL season. It's in the hands of Chad Gunningsman, and now it is in the hands of Joe LaCastro.
You got it. I'll take it from here. And Chad Genningsman is going to take it for the cup, it looks like, or at least for the end of this race. We'll do the math in a little bit. Here comes Chad Genningsman, leading things all around in the back stretch. Cody Hemingway in second, Blair Holloman in third. We'll read the rest in a little bit, folks, but we hope you've enjoyed this race as much as it's gone for Chad Genningsman. A little bit of sparks out in front as he slides it across past the restart zone and across the line. Chad Genningsman with the checkered flag and the last race of the SSRL Monday Night Truck Series.
And with this win, locking himself, licking the stamp and sending it, Chad Genningsman, I do believe, based on the way the point system is played out, Chad Genningsman is your championship for the SSRL Truck Series. What an impressive drive, man. We talked all season about how Chad was just a little bit off on pace, didn't have what he seemed to need, but he brought it all here tonight, and with just a little bit of good luck shining in his direction, we're going to watch him burn it down here after a hard-fought championship season.
There's the spin and the slide. What an excellent finish there, and he gets a chance to celebrate a little bit. The 97 truck looking absolutely fine. Wow, what a solid 85, folks.
I mean,
a good example of why these guys do it the best.
I mean, what a drive after such a long, grueling season, and you and I have not held, any punches on it with the mid-season struggles of that 97 machine, and here he comes, just bringing everything he needed here tonight and getting the job done to walk home with the hardware.
And let's see who else gets to walk home tonight after that race. It's going to be Chad Genningsman, your winner. Cody Hemingway in second, Blair Holloman in third, Dave Fuge in fourth, Colton Garner in fifth, Gary Donnellan in sixth, Shane Clore in seventh, Jason Kratke in eighth, Evan Ethel in ninth, and James Staples in 10th.
In 11th place, we got Christopher Fuge, followed by 12th. After such a hard-fought battle in the championship here, and so much speed found at the end of the season, and just a little bit of misfortune going to take him out of the running. But 12th place, Kyle Westwood, followed by 13th, Art Nicotera. 14th place going to Jordan Sailors with Tony Jeffries bringing it home 15th. 16th place going to be JP Jones, followed by Noah Walters, Scott Schroeder, Heath Snyder, and Joseph Tucker running out your top 20. As we look through the rest of the field here, 21st is going to be Drew Prohl and Kobe Jackson going to be running out the 22 truck field.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. That was quite the race, and we are very shortly going to get a chance to talk to our race winners here. We've got 3 people to talk to tonight. We're going to be talking to Blair Holloman, Cody Hemingway, and Chad Genningsman in that order. We're going to start things off with Blair Holloman, who came across third. Let's go ahead and say hello. Blair, can you hear us?
Howdy, guys. How you doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good. How about you after that finish?
I'm just happy to have finished. That track, although it looks like it's simple, it wears the tires out really quick.
Yeah, we were seeing a little bit of slipping and sliding there. Was that something you anticipated for tonight? Were you a little bit more surprised by the conditions of the track?
I knew it was going to be pretty rough on tires. It was just try to make as much ground as you can when they were fresh, and pretty much the way the steering is, just make sure you continue to see that center line, that little painted spot on the steering wheel, as long as it's still in your viewpoint going around the corner, because turn in any more than that, you're actually scrubbing tire. And with a track that's as abrasive as this, you really don't want that.
Oof, yeah, that sounds really rough. But you managed to make it work for you. Came up in third tonight. Was who gave you the most trouble on the course tonight? Who would you want to say was your rival if you had to pick one?
I really don't think I had much of a rival. I was following, pretty much the game plan for me was to follow Westwood for as much as I could, because realistically it was points wise coming in, so I was like, well, it's between him, Heath, and Chad, so I'm like, I'll just follow Westwood, because at least I know on speed wise I can match up well with him, so I know if he's doing something right, then that's kind of where I want to be. But we had that last cycle of pit stops, and I don't know where he went. Like I was expecting him to cycle out in front of me, and I didn't see him anymore, so I guess something happened.
Oh, you should watch that replay. Something did definitely happen. There was a little dust up on pit road. I won't go too into it, but definitely check out our Grid Vision replay to see what happened there to Kyle Westwood. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out to or thank for your performance tonight?
Yeah, I'll give a couple quick shout outs. I know my dad's watching. He just had his birthday on Friday, so.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah, he turned a big 6'5". On the truck, we have a couple of sponsors. Holloman Napa Auto Parts, that's my cousin Tad, that's his family's business. On the pillar there behind the driver's door, got HBR Autocore Recycling, that's my buddy Brian Lefever's business. And of course, got to shout out my tool guy, Roy Salisbury, the macro tools guy for me. Those guys always, they push me along here. They know I can't build an actual race car, Lord knows that costs way too much. But they definitely support the esports side of things. So anytime I'm in a race, they're always trying to see how good I can do.
Well, that's really wonderful. Thank you for your time and for your efforts this season racing, Blair. We've always enjoyed talking to you, and we look forward to seeing you race again very soon.
Thank you, guys. I'll catch you.
All right, we'll catch you soon. And happy birthday again to your dad. That was Blair Holloman. We will now move on. I'm going to pass the microphone over to Sheldon Atkins, and he's going to be talking with Cody Hemingway. Cody Hemingway, our second place finisher.
Hang on, we gotta grab Cody real quick.
Okay, 1 second here. We're just going to get a few things moved around, folks. But in the meantime,
it would appear that Cody is not available for interview right now. So, what's we do here, Darby?
that's okay. Maybe we could talk with Drew Pro. All right, we're going to go ahead and talk to Chad Genningsman, and I'm going to have you, Sheldon, interview our winner, Chad Genningsman. How about that?
Sounds good. Chad Genningsman, race winner and SSRL Truck Series champion of 2025. First off, how does that sound, brother?
That sounds pretty good. Definitely, it's been a long season there. Started off the year thinking it was a good shot, and I don't know, like we talked about the last few weeks or months, it didn't necessarily look like it was going to be a possibility. So it feels good to hear it finally. But yeah, been up and down season, and glad to finally put it to rest.
Yeah, a roller coaster of a season, because you started off and it was a shoo-in, right? 5 weeks into the season, I had you guaranteed. You were the top of the board. Like, there's no way Chad's not winning this, because I wasn't expecting the mid-season slump. I'm sure you weren't expecting the mid-season slump either. I know it had to have weighed on you a little bit. So first off, did you learn what exactly was kind of hindering you there through the mid-season?
I would say two things. I'd say mostly time. I mean, this sim takes a lot of practice. I mean, it takes as much practice as real life if you want to be good, to be honest. So not being able to put a lot of laps in, showing up, I guess, 2 races and running the first lap during Q or a few minutes before warm-ups, that hurts. But really, I think playing a conservative probably hurt quite a bit. I know being locked in, I probably should be more aggressive, but I think that hurts a little bit. But really, I mean, locking yourself in early, you can kind of coast away, and that's what I probably took advantage of too much. So locking in early definitely was a good thing. And then once you kind of get out of the rhythm, like I probably did, once the playoffs start or once you get close to playoffs, it's really tough to just ramp it right back up and start compete for wins again.
Now, you were talking about how playing conservative was one of the things that you did think was biting you, but I got to say, I think the thing that won you this championship tonight in this race is you played it so conservative there on that first stage. I noticed once we dropped the green flag after the first caution, I noticed you came down pit road, we called it out, got that extra splash of fuel, and I knew then that that was going to be important. How important did you see that? Because you were on the clutch, shutting the motor off, doing all the tricks in the book, coming into the corners. And that right there is what got you that first stage win, which gave you the opportunity to even race your way in if you didn't have the opportunity to win it. So
Yeah,
how big
definitely.
was that for you? Like, were you nervous? Because like I always get nervous when I try to save fuel.
I was not nervous about fuel saving. I think when it comes to fuel saving, I'm probably a better engineer or crew chief than I am a driver. So when it came to fuel saving, I kind of knew that if we get a caution anywhere, really after the first lap, like after we had rolled a little bit, that I could save enough to make it to the end of the stage. So I was surprised that more people didn't come and pit, to be honest. And then I think I was surprised that everybody who didn't come the first time around didn't top off, because when I crossed the line, I had 0.2 gallons left, and I think I put in 0.2 when I topped off. So without that, I maybe still would have won the stage, but I probably would have ran out of fuel and had to tow or get pushed or something like that, where I probably wouldn't have reset it up front like I was going to do in stage 2 then. But really, when it came to fuel saving, I wasn't nervous at all, because it's honestly easier than driving full speed laps, because you don't burn the tires up. The truck stays pretty much consistent the whole run. So basically just figuring out where the lift point is, and then I don't know, kind of get into where you're a quarter lap or a half a lap to the good. And I was able to do that right away, just because I kind of looked into that strategy, so I knew I had to start right away. And then it's just a matter of staying consistent, even if other people who might make their blow by you, just gotta make sure you hit the number.
Conservation definitely, I think, is what got you this title here this evening. And last thing I really got to ask you about, just the on track tonight. I mean, you got a handful of really good lucky breaks this evening. That's one thing we can definitely note. You know, Heath running out of gas early, trying to match the same strategy you were doing, and just, you know, not coming down, taking that top off on that first caution, which definitely worked in your favor, and not so much in his. But then that second little snap of luck you got, but we're gonna go right before that. When Kyle Westwood drove right up to your back bumper, right before you came down pit road, you looked like that truck was trying to wreck every second of every lap. Was it an adjustment, or what is it that you threw at that truck on pit road to get that thing where you needed it to be, to fire off and get those last handful of laps that were so important for you to seal the deal this evening?
Yeah, definitely. I think this truck was not, I knew I'd have to drive it, whatever that was, 25, 30 laps, but it definitely, I didn't adjust on it to go that far. So I knew I'd probably bleed time. That's where I guess restart up front really helped me, because I got out to lead. I was able to really push it for the 15 to 20 that I felt like was probably the truck to beat for. And then I knew I'd bleed time that last 5 or 6 laps. So really it was just a matter of, as long as I could keep Kyle out my window relatively close, I felt pretty good, because this truck was really built around that 15 to 20 lap run to the end. So having to go that extra little bit, I knew would be an issue, and I didn't really want to go up to the wall where it might have been faster, because it wasn't worth putting any damage on it before I got past, or before I had to pit.
But Chad, you definitely put a hurting on him tonight, and you put a hurting on him for a majority of the season. So, you know, how did you feel about the SSRL series this year? Like, we coming back next year? I feel like you are, because you definitely seem to have had a great time here.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great series. I think I made every race this year, so definitely was one where there's a few races here there you might look forward to them, but the racing's definitely been good enough where there's no weeks where you just flat out skip. So that's been great this year. I know there's a little bit, the day that we run is in question for next year, so that'll play a little bit of part just with other obligations during the week, but definitely plan to be back if it doesn't have conflicts on the schedule. And yeah, looking forward to having probably another really great year, and definitely a great series to run in. Requires a little bit more aggression, I think, with the low fuel, but definitely kind of picks up the strategy a little bit with where the stages fall, so it's a great series to run.
Absolutely. Well, after you know, knocking out a championship here, winning a handful of races, and really put a bow on the season here, who do you want to thank and shout out for this performance?
Yeah, definitely want to thank Dave and the rest of the league admins right off the bat. I definitely wouldn't be possible to have a great like this without all the work they put in, whether it be preparing for the races, make sure there's good rules, making sure that drivers are being vetted and registered properly, and then I think the penalty system works pretty well too, because they put a lot of work into reviewing every wreck to make sure that problems get addressed, so that kind of when you start to have problems in leagues, it seems to be a runaway train. So I want to thank them for all that work and make sure that doesn't happen. I want to thank you guys for broadcasting all year. You have great insights all the time. And I want to thank everybody at Legacy Esports and Reaper Speed Lab for the great trucks and other run. Probably didn't get the results they always deserve, but definitely appreciate all the work. And then we really want to thank everybody in the league for great driving. I know everybody was really respectful, especially at the second half of the year once things started to clean up and we got used to each other. And I really want to thank the rest of the championship corps, especially Heath and Kyle for the good race in the last couple weeks. I know we were kind of right around each other a lot.
Thanks for stepping up here in the booth with us this evening, and congratulations on the championship. I do believe that it is about 12 past beer o'clock right now, so go ahead and get some celebrating going, and have yourself a good one.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And with that, I'm going to hand it back to old Joe LaCastro here to lead us on out.
And so I shall, my friend. Wow. What a way to wrap things up. Charlotte was the track for it. Like you said, it was a driver's track. We had a really, really great example, again, of why SSRL are some of the best at what these guys do. What was your takeaway from that one, my friend?
Tell you what, man, I haven't seen so much heartbreak and upset in a championship race as long as I've been on iRacing. It seemed like if your name wasn't Chad, you were snakebit coming into this thing tonight. And it looks like Chad had the magic horseshoe, and that magic horseshoe fit. I mean, he had the pace to back it. He had the truck to back it. He's had the season to back it. Definitely a deserving champion by no regard. Would anybody ever take that away from him? But God, some of the bad luck that just happened. What happened to Snyder, and what happened to Westwood here tonight is just stuff that you couldn't predict, stuff that you didn't see coming. And it was really a nail biter all the way up to the last lap because, he got right up behind Snyder with 3 to go. And I mean, not Snyder, right? He got behind Sailors with 3 to go. And Sailors was just about deadlocked sideways, bouncing off the fence. I was like, oh no, this is where Chad's going to lose it. But it's been such a blast sitting up here all the weeks, all the races that we've covered. Every moment this series has delivered great racing product to us. And I've felt honored to sit up here in the booth and cover the SSRL Truck Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. How about you, Joe?
Well, I gotta say the honor's all mine, my friend. It's been a great time getting to know you and getting to know the racers and getting to know the tracks. And I've really cut my teeth a little bit with these guys, I think. And it feels like I found a great series that I get to watch and go back and look over these races very, very, very fondly. And the final race we got was so dramatic. Like you said, it was like watching a drama play out, this grand play that ended with Chad Kenningsman coming out on top. What a fantastic way to cap things off. So once again, folks, and for the last time from the SSRL Monday Night Truck Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor, we want to thank you guys for watching and participating in the chat. For more information on getting your league broadcast or starting your career in broadcasting, contact us on Facebook, X, or email us at info@gridvision.live. Congratulations again to Chad Kenningsman on winning it all tonight from Charlotte Motor Speedway. This has been Joe LaCastro, Jolo up in the booth, Sheldon Atkins, and Austin Derbyshire. And hey, we'll see you guys next time on the grid.